Greetings, YouTube. So, I found myself thinking about post-apocalyptic settings again. And partly because I have been watching Wasteland 2, both on Gopher's channel and on a relatively new channel to me known as Sloshworks, S-L-O-S-H-W-O-R-K-S, Works, Sloshworks. He's an Australian gent. I do love accents. And I've been watching both of their playthroughs of Wasteland 2. Amazing, there's a lot of German people playing that and uploading things to video. That kind of surprised me. I don't think I've seen as many non-English speaking people playing a single game as Wasteland 2. Anybody can tell me why, that would be cool. And Slosh also just started playing a kind of a point-and-click, turn-based hex mat survival game where you wake up in a cryo chamber and you have some very realistic survival goals. I can't remember the name of the game. It's on his channel. He just started playing it on the 30th. And it really is deadly if you have to make sure that don't get cold and you don't get wounded, and you have to get dehydrated and fed, and you don't get tired, and and again, it's on a little hex map, so it makes me kind of smile. It makes me think of old style board games from my youth. And I also happened to hear about a report concerning Chernobyl today. So all of these things kind of float around inside my skull. So, what am I thinking? I'm still thinking that far too many games don't understand that after the bombs, if they were to fall, nature would bounce back in a major way. Look at Chernobyl, highly irradiated area. Nature has just rolled over Chernobyl. It is full of brand new forests. It is full of major large mammals, and of course all the accompanying smaller animals, the birds, the lizards, the amphibians, the insects, the plants, they're all there. Now, they're not necessarily all the healthiest thing because they're in an irradiated zone. But they're there, and there are lots of them. It is not a blasted wasteland. It has never been that way, except for the immediate time after a detonation, and it never will be. Nature rolls back in, especially when there aren't any humans to keep it in check or to exploit it. Additionally, listening to the Wasteland, there are people that are still living as though the war happened within the last 18 to 24 months. Because they're talking about things, there's places you can loot canned goods. It's 150 years after the war. There are no canned goods left. If there are any canned goods, don't eat them. You're going to die. They're going to have been consumed. And the ones that didn't get consumed after about 25 to 30 years, they are deadly. So, yeah, you find canned goods from World War II, don't eat them. I'm telling you, be on the safe side. That kind of thing has just begun to really bug me. I want the game worlds to reflect reality. And 25 to 30 years after the war, it's a new world. It's a different world. The best example I can think of for this is Star Trek. The Earth underwent a general nuclear exchange. There is a nuclear war. Man is tossed into barbarity. And yet, Star Trek. That's the post-apocalyptic world you're looking at 150 years after the war. Not Wasteland 2. Now, we like those kinds of settings. I get it. I've used them. I will use them again, where entropy is variable, where you can find the canned goods. Oh, I'm a little more realistic. Most of the post-apocalyptic settings I do are set sometime when the war breaks out in the 22nd century. So some of those foodstuffs could still very well be good, because they were designed for that. They were designed for long-haul generation ship kind of thing, or seed ships, that kind of stuff. And I understand that. We like that. But if you're doing a realistic setting without that kind of thing, especially if the war's now, or in the case of Wasteland 2, it was what, in 87 or 90, something like that? It was in our past. then you're looking at a much different world. And in fact, if the war had taken place in 87, the post-apocalyptic era is over already. All right, you're now into the new zone. It's a different world with different political structures, different social and cultural structures. There's maybe different life forms. There could be weird, freaky things in the world, but it wouldn't be that post-apocalyptic setting, and it's bugging me. I don't know why it's bugging me, but it's bugging me because it's not internally consistent, because it doesn't make any logical sense to me. I also have been watching Gopher play Alien Isolation, which has also been bugging the crap out of me, because we know for a fact that the main character of that series, Amanda Ripley, dies in her 60s on Earth. She does not die in her 20s or 20s when this video takes place. This game takes place. So I'm just like, there's no emotional investment for me, because I know she survives. So I'm like, yay. Guess it's fun if you like that kind of game. I'm watching it because Gopher is an entertaining individual. Listening to him panic and fall apart is entertaining. I guess I want more of my post-apocalyptic settings. I want a reflection of reality. Even though I love Gamma World, the 1992 edition, even though I think The Mutant Epoch is an awesome game that reflects that vibe to a T. You know, and I wouldn't play, not that I wouldn't play either of those systems at a drop of a hat and run that kind of setting without a problem. But that isn't a game based on the real world. That's just science fantasy. That is as realistic as Star Trek and Star Wars or the Earthsea trilogy. It makes as much sense. And I'm tired of people trying to tell me their games are based on Earth and our history when they make absolutely no sense. Like Fallout, I've been watching Fallout New Vegas with Gopher, and again, it's the same situation. It makes no sense. Things don't work that way. If you're going to completely divorce it, then cool, completely divorce it. Don't pretend it's based on our world. Stop doing that. Because I notice those internal inconsistencies and they drive me batty. Yes, I know this is a bit of a gaming rant, and I'm sorry. And I'll cover it that when I'll put RPG Rant in the title of this one. But I want a world that looks like it makes sense. I would like a setting that makes sense. Internally consistent, based on how humanity actually recovers from devastation. I want a game like that. Pen tabletop, video game, film, television series. I want to see it. And I think that would be awesome. I picked up a copy of After Earth today. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be horrible as far as it makes any logical sense. I wanted to see the world as they're depicting it in the future. I hear the acting is terrible, but I'll watch it anyway. I picked it up for $2. So tell me, what do you want in your post-apocalyptic setting? Can you completely divorce yourself from reality, throw yourself into it, and not worry about it? Do you think that my idea of a realistic setting would be entertaining to see 30 or 50 years after the war? I'm not interested in the immediate aftermath. That's too terrifying. I project myself into that. I want settings set far enough beyond my lifespan, preferably in worlds where the war breaks out after I'm safely dead. That's the best setting for me. Ones that take place after nobody I know is going to be alive when it happened, because I don't want to know anyone that has to live through that. Not even fictional people. It's one of the reasons I prefer the cyberpunk settings in some ways, because they're horrible, but at least not everyone dies. It's just more of what we have now, cranked up to 11. Reaganomics taken to its logical conclusion. So tell me, what do you want in your PA settings? Would a realistic one be of any interest to you, or do you think it would be a waste of your time? And any of you have seen After Earth, tell me what you thought, because I haven't heard a whole lot about it other than the fact that it wasn't very good. I haven't heard any thoughts from people who actually are into PA settings tell me what they thought. So tell me, what do you think about post-apocalyptic settings?